We at the United Nations, we were able to have a delegation of about 500 people from all around the world, young people who are thinking about wanting to contribute to society in some kind of aspect, to those who started their own organization and their own initiatives, and yet they were on that same platform at the United Nations talking about how to work together, how to advance, and learning from others and leaders such as those on my panel here, to be able to take the next step in their personal life and also
at the time, I had just finished working about 10 years in media for a satellite TV station. And a lot of the broadcast that we were airing was a lot about international development and the problems around the world. And at a certain point, I was really proud of the work we were doing, but I wanted to be on the other side of the camera and really get involved in a personal way with trying to be helping people that needed help. And so I founded something that was going to be a crowdfunding platform in person. So we would come together, have people donate small amounts of money to do things like build a school or put together things that would be unaffordable for any of us individually, but together, if we would pool our funds, we'd be able to do it. But I happen to, so I guess I would start first with integrity. When I am teaching in a lot of the presentations, I think when you decide that you want to do either or create a social enterprise or a nonprofit, it's going to be much more costly than an organization that doesn't have the complexity of doing something that has social impacts. You can't purport to be a socially responsible organization and you're using, I don't know, cleaning products that are from the evil empire, or you're not treating your staff properly, or you're not paying payroll taxes. Like, there's all of these things that people want to cut corners because they want to have the most money for the people that they're serving or the programs. But if you haven't identified where you're going to draw the line with what's right and wrong within what you're going to do as an organization, and if it doesn't align with who you are as a person, I think there's a huge disconnect that you just can't sleep well at night. And I think that's the difference between deciding.
So I believe that honesty is the frame. I don't personally have it as a core value, because I just believe that that is the frame upon which we can build something. If there is no honesty, there is no framework, there is no basis upon which you can build a relationship, be it professional, be it personal. I believe that honesty and its corollary.
It's very easy to be comfortable and take the easy way out and run away from challenges. But Dr. King said, the ultimate measure of a man is not in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. So I'm wondering, for both of you, what do you do when you face difficult moments, and what keeps you motivated to continue what you do?
I think failure is very confronting. We're all socialized to look down on failure and to feel shame around failure. But I think I think once you hook into your heart and you really feel what you care about, and you see something that, puts an indelible image in your mind, and the one I shared at the UN was seeing a young boy in Dakar in Senegal who I'm assuming had polio, go across the street by trying to, he had his hands on two pieces of cardboard and pulling himself across the street. And then another man I saw in India that had no arms and no legs, that was on a moving cart with a friend pulling it with a tin can in his mouth, trying to beg for money. And those images will never leave me. And I just thought, I want to live a life that means something to me and other people. And I knew it was going to take me a while to figure it out. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more, twists and turns to the road. But I think once you really engage on an emotional level, you can't go back. You just, there's only forward at that point.
I used to be very, very afraid of failure. More than failure, I used to be when I was younger. When I was younger, I used to be terrified of people passing judgment about being on a headlight, being under the floodlight, and making a mistake and letting everyone see me make a mistake. But things occurred to me when I was younger, where I had to to make decisions, and I failed terribly, and that happened all through high school. I was failing terribly on a bunch of things, but it taught me so much because I realized that nothing really happened, other than me learning a lot. And when I did succeed, for the first time, my first greatest success, which is nothing, but it was my first greatest success. Um, it was my own because I had made my way there, making my own decisions. It would have been easier to follow other people's dictates. In this case, it was me, instead of following what my family would have wanted me to study and what my society thought that was a better use of my time, as a dedicating myself to things that are more profitable and that are socially understood as more successful, or taking you towards success. I took the risk of choosing my own path, and while doing so, I was opening myself to failure, because it's easy when when you follow other people and you stop being the leader of your own life. Your failures are not your own anymore, because now it's the advice of other people that brought you there. But when I did fail, and the failures were my own, because people were looking at me like, oh, you made those wrong mistakes, so that failure is your own. I owned that, and when I did manage to succeed, I realized that success was mine as well. It was not to be taken by anyone else. No one told me to.